We continue now at the top of Daf Kuflam and Gimel Amad Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 133a. On the previous summit, the Gemara had a case where a person gave 1/3 of his property to one daughter, 1/3 to another daughter, and 1/3 to his wife. And normally in that situation, we say that the wife is mochel on that 2/3 of the property. She's not going to collect her ksuba any longer from that 2/3 of the property that was given over to the daughters. But then one of the daughters died, and Rav Papi thought to say that the halacha is the same. She only collects from that 1/3 of the property. And the Gemara now continues. Amar le Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana said to him, to Rav Papi, Ilu hadar kani. Now, had the husband went ahead and acquired some new property, Milo Shakla, wouldn't she get to take from that property? The entire halacha that the wife is mochel in this case is that she's mochel from this particular property. But if he acquires new property, she's not mochel on her whole ksuba. She certainly can collect her ksuba from other new property. V'kevan de'ilu hadar kani shakla. And since that's true, that if he acquires new property, she can collect from there. So hashtanami shakla. So now that one of the daughters died, that property is essentially free, so to speak. So she can collect from that property as well. She can now collect from 2/3 essentially of the property. And the Gemara continues, there was a person who divided up his property between his wife and his son. And again, this is a situation where he's making her a shutaf bein habonim. She's a partner among the children, and so therefore she's giving up the right to collect her ksuba from the part of the property that was given to the son. However, in this case, Shayar Chad Dikla, in this case, he left off one palm tree that he did not divide at all among them. Savar Ravina Lamemer, so Ravina thought to say, Les La Chad Dikla, she only gets that one palm tree. That's all she can collect her ksuba from. Amar Le Rav Yemar Le Ravina. Rav Yemar said to Ravina, Les La Chad Dikla Nami Les La. If she doesn't get, then she shouldn't get from the palm tree either. Ella, but rather we say on the contrary, Migo de Nachsa Le Dikla, since she's able to collect from the palm tree, Nachsa Nami Le Kula Nixi, she can actually collect from all of the property, and we say that she has not waived her right. She has not given up her right to collect from this property from the ksuba. She can even take from the son's property. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Huna says, Shchiv Meira Shakasav Kol Nechasav Liacher, if a Shchiv Meira, somebody on his deathbed, he writes over all of his property to somebody else, Rowan, so we have to see. Imroi Liyarsha, if the person is able to inherit him, Notes Lan Misham Yerusha, he takes it as a Yerusha, as an inheritance, meaning let's say he's giving it to one son among many sons, the son was fit to inherit him anyway, so then that son will get everything as a Yerusha. That follows the psak that we had earlier of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. V'im lav, but if not, let's say it's somebody who's not fit to inherit him, Notes Lan Misham Matana, so then the person takes it as a gift. Amar le Rav Nachman, Rav Nachman said to him, to Rav Huna, Ganva Genuve Lamalach, why are you stealing this halacha? Isvir lach Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, if you hold like Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, so aim halacha Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, why didn't you just say that the halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka? Tashmaitzach Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka who dazla, because your teaching over here is following Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. You're saying if it's somebody that's fit to inherit him, he takes it as Yerusha. And so the Gemara continues, maybe you're saying as follows. There was a person who was dying. So they said to him, who do you want your property to go to? Maybe you want it to go to so-and-so. And he said to them, well, who else should it go to? Of course it should go to that person. And so you're saying on that, if that person is fit to inherit him, so then he takes it as a Yerusha. And if not, then he takes it as a gift. Amar Lei said to him, in yes, hachi kamina, that's what I meant to be saying. And the Gemara says, Lamai Hilchasa, but what practical difference does it make if he's taking it as a Yerusha or he's taking it as a Matana? Savar Avada bar Ahava Kame de Rava Lameima. Avada bar Ahava thought in front of Rava to say, Imroi Liyarsha, if he's fit to inherit him and he takes it as a Yerusha, so Almanuso Nizonis Minachasav, the halach is he's treated like a regular Yoresh, like a regular heir, and the halach is the widow is able to be supported from his property. Vim Lav, but if not, if he's just giving it as a gift, so Ein Almanuso Nizonis Minachasav, so then his widow is not able to be supported from his property. Amar le Rava, so Rava said to him, Migra Gara, that makes it worse. Hashta b'Yerusha d'Oraisa, now we say by a Yerusha d'Oraisa, by a true heir, we say, Amrit, you say, Almanuson Izonis B'Nechasav, that his widow is supported from his property. B'Matana d'Rabbanan, by the gift by a gift that's only midrabbanan, meaning by a Shchiv Meira, the halach is, if he's on his deathbed, so if he makes a statement, it's the same thing as if it's written, Kichsuvin v'Chimesurin Dami. But that's considered that's a halacha that's d'Rabbanan, that's what's called a Matana d'Rabbanan. That's a much weaker kind of a gift. So lokal shekain, so there's certainly, we should say that the almana should be able to be supported from the property. That should be less than a regular yoresh, so you can't say that that is the nafkamina. Elama Rava, rather Rava says, It's like Rav Acha bar Rav Avia sent L'divrei Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka. According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka, when the situation happens that he gives it to one son among many sons, and we say that's a Yerusha, so let's say he says as follows, Nechasai loch ve'acharecha leploni. Let's say he says, my property is going to you, but then after you, I don't want it to follow the regular Yerusha, then I want it to go to so-and-so. I want to divert the Yerusha, so to speak, that it goes in another direction. If that first person that you're giving it to is fit to inherit him, so that the first person is getting it as a Yerusha, so ein l'sheni b'makom rishon klum, the second person doesn't get anything in the place of the first. If the first person dies, it follows the regular rules of Yerusha doesn't go to that second individual. She'ein lashon matan el lashon Yerusha, because this is not a gift, rather it is an inheritance. V'Yerusha ein lahafsek, and a Yerusha, once you have an inheritance, it can't be interrupted, it can't be diverted in other directions, and that's going to be the nafkamina. If we say that it's a Yerusha, so then it continues as a regular Yerusha. You can't say acharecha leploni, but if it's a matana, then you can say acharecha leploni. Amar le Rav Nachman, Rav said to Rav Nachman, V'ha ifsakahu, but what do you mean? In this particular situation, he said, I'm only giving it to the first one, on a condition that it's going to go to this other person, acharecha leploni. So he is interrupting the Yerusha. How can you say that this Yerusha will just be a regular Yerusha? And the Gemara explains, Savar yesh lahefsek, this person thinks that he's able to interrupt the Yerusha. He believes he can attach a condition. V'rachmona amar ein lahefsek, but the Torah says that there is no interruption. The Torah says he can't do this. It's masnal mashakasa b'Torah. He's essentially making a tanai against what the Torah says. And so therefore what he initially does, the maisa is kayim. That's actually fulfilled. It actually does go to that first person as a Yerusha, but the tanai, the condition he's trying to make is batal, that's nullified, and therefore it proceeds as a regular Yerusha. And we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kuf Lamed Gimel Amud Beis.